66 years ago, one of Bangor's most prominent residents arrived.
The name is Bunyan, Paul Bunyan, and today is his 191st birthday. The legendary logger standing tall in downtown Bangor has become synonymous with the city. Now, interestingly, WABI's cameras were there all those years ago when he made his first appearance back in 2019. I spoke with the Bangor historian and the man who designed Paul about the famous statue.
First of all, this was a big anniversary year in Bangor.
As Normand Martin recalls, the city was turning 125. Local officials had been holding events to celebrate all year. Someone had recently read a book about Paul Bunyan.
And she could see a tie-in with the fact that Bangor was the lumber capital of the world.
Wanting something impressive, they thought, how about a statue? And contacted Normand's advertising agency looking for a designer. And Normand raised his hand.
Geez, I think I'd like to do that, I got some clay and a few tools, because I hadn't been doing any of that. And this is what I came up with.
It took 2 weeks to design the miniature Paul.
Did that, and I showed it to them. They loved it, and they said, well, go right ahead.
They found a company in New York to build it.
The company manufactured all the floats for Macy's parades.
With a budget of $20,000, they went to work. Local historian Richard Shaw remembers his arrival.
At first, when he was built, I guess in the winter of '59, we didn't know quite what to make of this man who always smiled, and he had this great big head, and he carried these old-fashioned implements. But over the years, he's become quite a member of the community.
After completion, Paul's unveiling was a social event not to be missed.
A pretty big deal. Back then, 200 people was a lot of people, but in all the local men, I think they had a beard contest, like a Paul Bunyan. So all these rather straight-looking conservative men, businessmen, leaders had a contest with the bushiest beard.
And that's me standing there.
At the dedication, they had a big cherry picker, with cameras and lights, like he was a star. And I don't think anybody ever knew it was ever going to materialize.
Not only did it materialize, but 60 years later, he's still here. His surroundings may have changed, but he hasn't.
Synonymous with the city. Everything is quite new down there now with the casino. Within the last, 15 to 20 years, it's been built. So there's a bit of Americana, and people stop. And
as for Normand, he loves that Paul is still around. Just ask his wife.
She gets sick of me bragging about it. She does. I don't blame her, because I do brag about it. Every now and then, we'll be in situations, and she'll look at me as if she said, don't you dare brag about it. So then I shut up. But sometimes she isn't around, so then I brag. Of course, I like to have people know I'm the guy who designed Paul Bunyan. Something to brag about. I don't have a hell of a lot else to brag about.